Hello and welcome to another week of progress on the Foundation. This week's area of focus for me has been working on figuring out how to make things move around the world. I can place things where I wanted them, so I thought I could move things pretty easily. Turned out there's a few little things that work a little differently about that. So first of all, I'd like to point out that little speed toggle button that used to be up near the top is gone now. Don't have that anymore. Instead, what you can see is down near the clock, there are two buttons on either side, and those are to control how fast the time is flowing. The base time is 1 minute a second. I can increase it up to 30 minutes a second by clicking on the right button. Another click will bring it up to an hour a second, then 6 hours a second, and then 1 day a second. The two buttons on the far ends will bring it to the max and the slowest speed. The game still resets down to the slowest speed, 1 minute a second, when an event occurs, such as now. So I can click, find this event, bring it up. As we remember, we can select the different options we want to do, choose the teams, whatever. But now, when we take action, we can see over here that a helicopter has taken off from the base and it is on its way. There's a little counter here to the side that I'll zoom in on. You can also probably hear that as I've zoomed into it, that there is some radio chatter going on. This will quiet out and disappear if you're zoomed far away, so you'll only hear it if you're close to the helicopter. Right now the radio clips are taken from some military exercise radio recordings, but in the future maybe we'll record some SCP related radio chatter to put on for these helicopters. Next to the helicopter, that is the ETA timestamp. It's calculated by figuring out the distance between the 2 points, in this case across the North Pole to Russia, then dividing that distance by how fast that helicopter can travel at max speed. Obviously that's very optimistic speed, so maybe we'll slow that down a little bit in the future, but for now that's good enough. So as we increase the time frame here, we can see that the helicopter is making its way across to the event. But let's say that we're going and we realize, oh wait, we need our MTF team back at base. We don't want to respond to this event actually. We can click on it in progress and click recall. And we'll see that the helicopter is turned around and has a new timestamp for how long it will take it to return to base. Upon return to base, that team will be restaffed at that location and can be used again. So now we have two events, but let's say, okay, actually we do want to go to the first event now. So we'll dispatch a team again. Right now you can only have one base, so it doesn't matter. It always dispatches from this one, but in the future when you have multiple facilities across the world, the team will dispatch from whatever base they are assigned to. So we'll have this go and make its way over here. Boom. So response team is in position. We can see the timestamp says arrived. If we click on this now again, it knows that we're there at the location and it's going to ask us how we want to do the battle. This pop-up's pretty ugly right now, but I just wanted to show and talk a little bit about the three different possibilities that I'm looking at for resolving an operation. On the left, I've labeled it full discretion for the officers in charge. These names are probably pretty terrible. Feel free to throw out some new ones for me. I don't really care, don't love them that much. But anyway, the one on the left is supposed to represent auto-resolve. You'll have no control, no influence on what occurs for the resolution of the event. It'll just calculate it out and tell you whether it was success or failure. The middle one essentially auto-resolves most of the details, but will give you a series of prompts that will come up of different situations that were encountered that they want your call on. As I mentioned in the last video, maybe there's a hostage situation, maybe the SCP appears to be activating and they want to know whether they should try to decommission it or take it anyway. And the last one is for full control. This is if we manage to get the game that far, which I would love to, then the take control would allow you to go into a battlefield screen and control your individual squads and units as you try to secure the area and contain the object and bring it back, or respond to whatever other events that occur. Currently, none of these buttons do anything, so basically we're just going to close that, and that's that for now. Next week, the focus is going to be on this resolution. I want to try and work on getting things together so that I can at least do the auto-resolve, maybe even get some of the framework together for the event resolution as well. Also, I've already begun the design work and thinking and coding processes to start getting the groups of interest into the game. So depending on how complicated combat resolution ends up getting, I'll start getting into more and more of the groups of interest, and maybe we'll start seeing their behaviors next week. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm getting excited. We're starting to see gameplay coming together. So thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next week.